So about 8 or 9 weeks ago, UFibre were in our area doing door-to-door, see if anyone's interested in their internet. At the time, I was doing airport runs, so I was getting up at like 2-3 o'clock in the morning, doing an airport run, coming home, going to doing a school run, then going to sleep. So when this guy knocked the door and asked if we were interested, I was fast out. So my wife said to him, "Oh, hang on, when my husband wakes up, I'll speak to him, we'll have a chat and we'll look into it and see what we think. If you just want to leave a card, if you've got any questions, we'll give you a ring." So he gave us a card, it had his name on it, phone number, and when I got up then, sort of like, my wife was asking how the airport run was, this, that and the other, and she said, "Oh, by the way, there's a guy come on the door asking if he wants to get their internet." So I had a look and I was like, I said, when I've come round a bit more, I'll have a look, I'll do my research, look online and stuff. That's what I always do with everything, even my phone. So with that then, the day after, somebody else knocks, a woman. Exactly the same thing. She knocked the door, I answered, and I said, "Oh, my wife's given me the form, I'm just looking into it, and we'll get back to you." And she kept on and on and on. It got to the point where my wife came to the door and said, "Look, this is sort of like harassment, because my husband has said to you that we'll have a look, but you're just asking, but you just keep on and on." She said, "We'll decide when we're ready to decide." And that was that. The woman went, "All right, okay," and she went. And then my wife started feeling a bit bad for the way she reacted to this girl keeping on and on and on, which I think it was a fair comment. And maybe I shouldn't be such a soft touch, and I just kept going, yeah. So with that then, she went. So I did my research, looked on TikTok. The internet speeds were really good. So a couple of days later then, we came back from my mother-in-law's house. We had dinner at my mother-in-law's house. The boys were playing in the garden up there. She's got a big garden. And I seen the girl that knocked a few days before that, and the guy who knocked when I was sleeping on the other side of the road. And I said, "Oh, they are." I said to my wife, "There they are, doing their rounds again, knocking door to door." With that, then the girl kept walking down, and the guy came over. So my wife had already got in the house. I parked up, and the guy just literally stood by my door, and he was like, "Oh, have you signed up for UFibre yet then?" And I was thinking, "Oh, for God's sake, man, can't you just leave me get out my car?" So I was like, "No, not yet." I said, we still haven't had a proper chat about it. I said, "We've just been really busy," which we had. And he came over and he started talking about to us. Well, we stood outside our house, just explaining everything that I'd already been told by the girl. My wife had already been told by him. And with that then, he just carried on talking to us. My wife came out and he was talking to my wife, and he just sort of casually just started putting his foot on my wife's car. And my wife went, "Look, can you not do that? Can you not? Who does that? Who just stands outside casually talking to someone and just sort of sticks their foot on someone's car and just leans and starts chatting?" So he just kept on and on. And we did feel pressured into doing it, but we wanted to do it at our own pace. We're like, "Well, no, hang on a minute." So with that then, we did end up getting UFibre, but they, even now, last week, they were still doing their rounds, and I could hear them going, "No, don't go to that number. They've got that UFibre. Try that one." And knocking this woman's house, and she's like, "No, I've already said we've got internet. Blah blah blah. Our internet is really good. Can you